You'll have to wait.
Good evening and welcome to the finale of the Pepsi Bash T20 BPL.
Eleven for one.
United versus Incredibles. United bowling having been able to make a really good start. They have sent two of the top names of the Incredibles back to the pavilion. Mute it. Mute it. Beautiful night, exciting game on hand under the lights, beautifully mowed outfield. We're going to have a cracking contest on hand, folks. Welcome to the folks that have joined us online and are currently present here at the BPL Stadium. Once again, this is the 6th season of the Pepsi Bash T20, and this is final of the tournament. United having made two breakthroughs against the Incredibles up at the top in the very first over. This broadcast is being provided to you from Cricket Clubs. Bowled quite outside the off stump, left alone from the striker. This concludes the second over. Incredibles having been put on the back foot slightly by the top display from the United bowlers from the word go. Our apologies for the technical difficulties. The audio wasn't available from the beginning of the first over. It's all back in business now for us. Thank you for joining once again.
11-2.
11 for 2.
1 over.
11 is the score for Incredibles for the loss of 2 wickets. Third over is going to get underway. Twilight time. Lights fully in business. Beautiful evening here, folks. If you can make it down here to witness the finale of the Pepsi Bash, we suggest that you do so. If not, continue enjoying the live broadcast from the comfort of your home. Tapped it down onto the onside for no score. Really good start this by United bowlers. Good line by the bowler. Really not allowing any room. Slightly short. That did pass back to the bowler. Left alone this time. Qasim and Cheyenne at the crease from the Incredibles team at the moment. Miraj being the bowler. Really tight line, really good bowling. Slapped it down to the short mid-on region. Well fielded. That concludes the third over by United. Didn't really allow any room in this over for the Incredibles batters to get away. Currently still at 11 for the loss of 2 wickets. Beautifully driven into the covers this time. They run 2, well fielded, and a good throw as well back to the keeper. Both of these teams have exciting talent. Quick single taken onto the short mid-off side, and a fumble from the fielder allows the batters to run for the second, and they successfully do so. Despite the early losses, Incredibles seemingly getting the show on. Good Yorker, and dug out by the batter just as well. Very good bowling by Ahmed, that is, I believe, into his second, having gone for 15, but he's the guy that picked up the 2 wickets. Shahir Hassan having been the one big one, as well as the Fahad Amir's wicket. Both of them caught by Ahmed. Swing and a miss. Straight down to the keeper, well kept. Decent bounce. End of the 4th over. Incredibles at 15 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of the 4th over. I'd like to take a good second to thank our sponsors, Pepsi, Gatorade, and of course Cricket Clubs, to provide us this live broadcast on YouTube as well as Facebook. Start of the fifth over. Pull down to the square leg region for a 4. Very powerfully struck. Like I said at the beginning, folks, that the outfield is going to be rocketing fast. It has been recently mowed. Makes it for an exciting game on hand when every shot has a purchase. Batters should back themselves up, being able to put up a good score to defend in the second inning. Another good shot into the offside, and this should go all the way for a 4. Nope. It doesn't. It's been fielded, and a good return back. Meanwhile, they run 2. Very good effort into the covers by the fielder. Swiftly stopped, picked up, and thrown back in no time, preventing the third. Powerfully struck right into the commentary box, and this goes all the way for a 4. There you go, folks. Incredible batters, Qasim and Cheyenne, getting it on and freeing their hands and scoring very comfortably. No wonder I was hearing myself.
Shahid bhi out ho gayi. Shahid out hua karo.
You sure? Is it good enough? Okay. Fahad Amr is the second wicket. Deceived by the pace, slowed it down a little bit. Batter at one point deciding to go for it and actually withdrew, having gone for a dot ball. That should conclude the end, or the fifth over rather. Incredibles currently at 27 for 2. Cheyenne at 5, Qasim at 11. Very well bowled, almost induced an outside edge. Well kept by the keeper as well. After a slightly expensive over, United bowling looking to come back. Defended off the back foot. They run a quick single and chance of a run out had that been a direct hit, but good running between the wicket by these two, Qasim and Cheyenne. Powerfully struck straight down the ground, well fielded by the bowler himself. Incredibles at 28 for the loss of 2 wickets. Short, pulled, a leading edge and well caught into the onside. Short square leg region. It scooped up, it got too big on him. Slightly late on the shot, inducing an outside edge, leading edge rather. United making the 3rd breakthrough against Incredibles in this Pepsi Bash Finals T20 2017. This is the 6th season for this particular tournament at the BPL Stadium. Qasim Khan's is the wicket off of Abdul, caught by Hassan. Short square leg region. Abdul continues for the remaining 2 balls in this over. Fuller this time, beating the defense of Cheyenne. No contact made. Well kept by the keeper. Turned out to be a really good over by United. After Cheyenne and Qasim went for a few runs in the last over. A loud appeal by the bowler for the caught behind. Slightly short this time. Definitely heard the sound, but the esteemed BPL umpires obviously didn't think that was the case, and these umpires have been phenomenal throughout the tournament. Convincingly given not out. Batsman survives. End of the over from Abdul. Qasim, remind you at the crease was replaced by Arshad Khan, joining Cheyenne, who's currently at 6 off of 11, I believe, going nearly about a run a ball. And obviously Incredibles find themselves in a bit of a bother at the moment, having lost 3 wickets up at the top in a night tournament under lights. When you get put in to bat first, obviously you look to put a very good total on the board that your bowlers can come back and defend. It's been slightly challenging for them thus far. Another good ball. A massive swing and a miss. United have got a slip into place, and why not? They can afford to play the attacking mode in this particular game because they've made the breakthroughs that are required at the moment. Mind you, both of these teams have made it thus far because they've got exciting talent in both of the camps.
Right.
Short this time, pulled onto the onside, lands in no man's land, should go for a 4, and it does. Very good comeback
Come on, Saki. Come on. We don't need that. Come on, Saki. Come on.
by Cheyenne from Incredibles this time.
Come on, Saki. Come on. Yes, man. That's where it needs to be. That's it, Saki. That's it.
That's more of a length that he should be looking to bowl at. This was a good length. Force the batter to actually defend it straight down. Way down the leg side, should be given as a wide, and it is. Bowler losing his length, bowler being Sikandar for his first over. This is the 6th over, folks. Incredibles currently at 32 for the loss of 3 wickets. Cheyenne and Urshad at the center from Incredibles. Very cheeky but mighty effective shot. This was short into the body line, and he just graced it down in the third man region, flying past the first slip. Very well done by Urshad. Cheyenne, beg your pardon. Another dot ball. It's given as a wide, actually, slightly off stump.
Yes, man, that's it.
Tapped it into the square region. Attempted for a single, didn't, but then the throw came back and actually hit the stumps for the non-striker who was backing up, wanting to go for that single. United having succeeded in getting the 4th wicket, soft dismissal rather, an attempted run and a run out due to that. Couldn't really make out whose call was it, but didn't look to be a a score from the get-go, but obviously the non-striker was backing up, perhaps looking to get a go from the call from the strikers, and the throw came back on target, hit the stumps. Zero hesitation from the umpire on this time. Incredibles losing their fourth at 38. All kinds of stuff happening in this over from Sikandar. 2 wides, 2 fours, 1 wicket thus far. I believe he has 1 more to go. Short flies, left alone. Attacking bowling, rightly so, after having made the breakthrough on the last ball. This finishes the over from Sikandar. Incredibles currently at 38 for the loss of 4 wickets, and at the end of 6th over. I am joined by the man in charge, Mirali, to say a few words about this finale of the Pepsi Bash T20 2017.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pepsi Bash final this year. It's our 6th one, and looks like Incredibles, you're right. They're in a little bit of a bind right now, but let's see what becomes of it. It's always nice to see a nice competitive final with a lot of sixes and so forth, but nevertheless, both teams deserve to be in this final. Unfortunately, Fahad Babar, our USA player, was not able to play today due to his injury. He's got some nerve damage in his hand. Things may have been a little bit different if Fahad was on the pitch. This is his home ground, but nevertheless, let's see what becomes of it. It's never over till it's over. I do want to thank some people, obviously the teams, and definitely our sponsor Pepsi, who's been a great partner of the BPL for many years now. Them, along with Gatorade, a brand that they own, they've truly stepped up and brought a whole new dimension to cricket in Chicago. We're also very proud to have the very first turf wicket, our turf square. It's a 4-pitch square, and we're very proud to have that here. It's the very first one in the history of cricket in the Midwest region here, especially in Chicago, where there's tons of cricket being played, and the cricketers have been really enjoying playing on turf, and I think it's going to change the way the game is played out here. So here we are at the BPL Stadium. It's our pride and joy. We definitely want to give a big shout out to Cricket Clubs for partnering with us, and our magician, Mr. Omer Khan, who's done a phenomenal job with this production and in the production of the Liberty Cup, which you guys saw on the 4th of July weekend. Today, we're going to be giving away $4,000 to the winner, and the bat sixman so far looks like Shahir Hassan has been in the lead with 33 sixes, I believe, so far, and the most economical bowler so far was Ahmed Askari from Chicago United. You saw him bowl today. He's bowling his heart out, and we're going to give away a Las Vegas trip to the bat sixman, and the most economical bowler will get cash prize of $500. So looking forward to that. It's great to see everybody out in the field. It's a little chilly night, but thank you, Sharik. And I know Amir Rasim is here as well in the booth. He's going to be joining him shortly, doing the commentary. But you know what? For a league that's only 7 years old, I think we've came a long, long way. And it's just not me. But I have a great team here that works with us. Great volunteers, yourselves included. Thank you guys for everything that you guys do. And we've got a real solid, group of dedicated teams that have been playing us, and now we owe it to them to bring the best quality. Look at that shot, huh, Sharik?
Beautiful, flown off the bat. Absolutely. Thank you, Mir. And one milestone at a time, achievements after achievements, this league certainly has been raising the bar and setting a precedence that is going to be hard to be met with.
Well, we hope that it's met. Our goal has always been to have quality over quantity any day. It's easy to build up quantity, but then you really can't control the quality of cricket that you're producing. And our board, Mr. Talat Rashid, Mr. Hamid Bhatti, our treasurer, and our newly appointed secretary, Mr. Rizwan Asgar, he'll be inaugurated today. I'm really proud of the direction that the board has taken, along with myself. And it would be wrong if I didn't mention Julian Kalahor. Julian has become the backbone and my right-hand man right here in the BPL. He's our league manager. He wears a lot of hats, and he has certainly helped us, bring quality, to Chicago. As you see now, our only goal now is to get better and better and better. We hope to have some good Team USA games here. And for our kids league, I mean, we've got over 200 kids that participate in our league. And for those of you watching and don't know the history behind that, the BPL actually started with a youth league, but then we formed the adult league, so these kids will have a home, per se, to play in once they grow up. And as of now, we've got 2 teams already that have graduated from the youth program, and they're playing in the BPL. And that's a very rewarding experience.
Incredible achievements, nonetheless. Having been a resident of Bolingbrook for the last 7-8 years, I have watched this league grow. I have watched this league set newer and higher precedents. So everything that you have spoken of, Mir, can be absolutely attested from my own personal perspective.
Absolutely.
We have Mateen Anandar here, one of our ICC certified umpires. He's playing third umpire in the booth today. Mateen bhai, how's your day going?
Not bad, man. This is a beautiful ground here. A little bit chilly, but you know what? Everybody just makes it warmer here, so I'm not feeling the cold at all.
It's the people that matter.
It's the people that matter, man. I know it's chilly and everybody's got the jackets and everything on, but it's the atmosphere is electric and looks like it's going to be a very good game.
Indeed.
And Mateen bhai, tell us about your experience in the BPL. And ever since you came on board, obviously, we're very glad and honored to have such a good caliber of umpires and your team. And you've been leading the umpiring panel for quite some time now in the BPL. You have a lot of respect in the country and Chicago specifically, being an umpire. So tell us about your experience migrating over to the BPL, and mention something about the other umpires too.
Migrating over the BPL was one of the easiest decisions that I had to make coming in here. First of all, it's a no-brainer that I live 15 minutes away from both the grounds, so
That helps.
that makes a lot of difference as far as the travel time goes. Plus, the teams that are playing here are at a level which they respect the decisions that we make. We make mistakes sometimes, yes we do, but the teams, I don't get any arguments back from the team. They will question after the game that, why the decision was made, and once we explain it to them, they go about on their merry ways. Unlike some other, I will not mention any names, on some other leagues that I have umpired, where they just get into your face, but over here it's completely different. The other umpires on the field today, Mushir Laliwala and Ehsano Rahman, veterans for the last 8 to 9 years, just like myself, and of course Julian, who has been a veteran for I don't know how many years. Plus, we also have new additions to the umpiring team. We have Mr. Sridhar Jagat, who has just recently started umpiring with us. Then we also have Mike, who is one of our part-time umpires, and Chirag Vaswani, who is also one of our part-time umpires. We would love to have these umpires here do a little bit more umpiring than normal, because that would take the load off us, but whatever we can get, we are very welcome for them. So hoping this year is going to be ending up in a very decent way after this tournament. As far as the regular tournament goes, oh, that's a great shot.
Goes all the way
Pulled right
for
off his
4.
legs. I was looking forward to a very decent season and a coming 2018.
Absolutely. Thank you for the words for both of you, to both of you, Mir and Mateen. I was thoroughly honored to have spoken of your umpiring in the Liberty Cup as of a couple of months ago.
For that, I
And your
thank you
team.
very much for that. I mean, some of the TV replays from that Liberty Cup has helped me become a better umpire, because I actually went back, visited all the decisions that I had given, and it just, I still go back and look at all the decisions. I have pictures and videos, clippings, thanks to Umair for sending them to me, and I go watch them, and that just makes me get better decisions in the future.
That's truly professional, and that speaks to the caliber of the BPL as a whole, folks that are listening to us right now. People willing to learn all the time and learning from their mistakes and going back to the hard work. Flew off the middle of the bat down to the third man region, slightly wider of the third man rather. All the way goes for the 4. Incredibles currently at 49 for the loss of 4 wickets. And that should have concluded the 8th over. Once again, thank you, Mir. Thank you, Mateen, for your insights as we get back to this fantastic and exciting game here at the BPL Stadium. And finally, I am joined by my partner in crime from the Liberty Cup. That 4-day stints that we did along with Jamie. Amir Wasim is here in the commentary box with me. Welcome, Amir.
Thank you, Shark Pipe. Wonderful to be back. Glad to be back. It's a little chilly, but you know it'll do.
Correct your voice to this thing.
Indeed, like Mateen Bhai said, it's the people that make it warm.
It does. I don't think we have enough people in the booth right now to make it that warm, but
We've got quite a few people as spectators along the boundary lines into the dugout, as well as the folks that are playing the game.
yeah. You know, not something that I was expecting. Incredibles at 54 for 4, 8 overs. Main batsman, you know, back in the pavilion. But Cheyenne is in there, and I'm hoping for some big things.
Amir, this is why I enjoy commentating with you, because you bring a lot of wealth of experience. You being a person having played yourself and still representing a team here at this particular night tournament. You seem to know a lot about these players and their stats and obviously their experience and exposure. So feel free to tell us how you perceive the game in terms of where this is going to end up.
You know, I really do think that this is gonna. Incredibles are gonna need to gut it out. You know, put up at least 150 to make it a game. But again, it's a game of cricket, and anything can happen. You know,
Agreed, but throughout the tournament, there's been a lot of talk about the Incredibles batters, and quite frankly, I've seen the stats, I've seen the names, but I'm not as in the knowledge to have the know-how of the United batters. If you say that Incredibles put up an on-par score, obviously United is a good team having made this far, but you think they would back themselves off of achieving the target?
Are you talking about United?
United.
Or are you talking, okay,
When
United.
it comes
Yeah.
down to chase.
If you're talking about an on-par score, I think United is going to be pretty happy with what they're doing, and a great little push. I think United's going to be pretty comfortable. You know, even an on-par score. You're talking about 150, 160 at this point in the game. You know, at the max, from what I'm seeing.
Absolutely, because this is 9th over in the proceeding, and Incredibles currently sitting at 57. So even for them to get the on-par score, they're going to have to get a go on.
They're going to need to. You know, throughout this tournament, we've seen Shahir, you know, play lights out as he does in almost every tournament that he plays. You know, you're missing Fahad, you're missing Moeen, you're missing some pretty big names from the Incredibles tonight. Incredibles are going to need to play their hearts out tonight.
Yeah, a lot of times strong batting units throughout the world don't really take it to the heart when they lose a big name or two, but it does psychologically matter.
It does. You know, you take your key batsman out, you take your one key bowler out. It demoralizes the whole team. You know, we don't have this player, we don't have that player. You know, that's what it is. But you know what? Again, we're all professionals. The teams that are playing today are professionals, and they should be able to overcome that. You know, let's see. There's plenty of cricket left.
Absolutely.
11 overs. You got 6 wickets in hand. You know, let's see what happens.
Agreed. At the end of the 9th over, Incredibles currently at 59 for the loss of 60 rather, for the loss of 4 wickets. Currently going about 6.5 from the run rate perspective. And as we have just spoken to, if they're to put on an on-par score, they will look to go at about 8.5 and over from this point on, which isn't a massive undertaking, but could be slightly difficult. I mean, the conditions are pretty good. Yes, it's a windy because this is a windy city. The lights are awesome, the field is awesome, and the temperatures are a little chilly. So it should, if anything, be helping the batters running between the wickets. It's not blistery hot, as we witnessed throughout the Liberty Cup.
We did, but you know, again, everybody's a little different. So speak for yourself, Sharik Bhai. I'm freezing right now, even though it's only like 50 degrees, but...
It's 62.
Oh, okay, well, 62. Punched on the offside. Good running. You know, I think Incredibles are going to need to put a speed on the pedal. Metal on the pedal? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
You know, I think going at 6.64 and over is not going to cut it for tonight's game. Playing in the final of the BPL.
Yeah, I think...
Oh, and as we say that, there goes the 5th wicket.
Soft dismissal, but actually struck through.
It struck through. And again, as we were talking about, they're going to need to put the metal on the pedal. You know, there it goes.
Yeah, it's always tricky, Amr, at the stage of the game where you've lost about half of your wickets and you look to sort of dedicate one of the batters to be the striker, to be the one that actually is going to help up the run rate. And against the run of the flow, you often end up being in the situation that these guys have sort of just been in, that they lost their 5th. Nothing to take away from the bowling side. This was a good bowl. This absolutely beat the defense of the batter, hands down. And I believe we have to wait for the replay if there is one. Middle stump out of the ground, or was it the off stump out of the ground?
I think it was off and middle.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about professionalism. It's all about your mind frame. It's all about the way that you think about the game. You know, at this point, if I was in the middle, it'd be more about the singles and the doubles and letting the other guy that's more informed, that's a little bit more, that spent more time at the wicket, to take the strike. You know, my goal at that point for, you know, Ali was out there. Ali should have been, let me take a single and let me get Cheyenne on strike.
I agree. Cheyenne, having been there for 27 balls, having scored 25, almost about run a ball, you would say. He's got a lot of weight on his shoulder tonight. But that is part and parcel to the game.
You know, and what I feel is going to happen right now, and, you know, I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, because we want to see a more, you know, a larger total being put on the board. I think it's going to be a little bit more, okay, let me just, you know, block the balls. Let's preserve our wickets for the last 5 overs. That's not the best way to go.
That is the traditional wisdom.
Yeah.
We have seen so much T20, this particular format, this particular game of the cricket around the world, in which things can actually go the other way. You wait, and then things come tumbling down in the last 5 overs. But that is the traditional wisdom, I reckon.
It is, but we have to get out of those norms. You look at Australia. You look at all the bigger teams. Australia, England. They always maintain a good run rate, regardless of the amount of wickets that they have down. They want to maintain that run rate, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have your 7th, your 8th, your 9th wicket coming in. They're not as good as batsmen as the upper order is.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you take advantage of your upper order. You want to make advantage, you want to take advantage of your batsmen that are able to rotate the strike. They're able to strike the ball.
Yeah. Speaking of going against the norm, Amr, I'm sure you've heard August 31st was a day that witnessed two of the biggest upsets in the Test cricket. Bangladesh having won against Australia and West Indies having won against England. Two of an amazing Test cricket game, and that's why I love that format so much.
Absolutely, but let's concentrate on the game tonight that's in front of us. Incredibles at 63 for 5 at the end of the 10. 6.3. I'm praying that the Incredibles can speed up the run rate.
Yeah, I'm with you. You want a contest tonight, don't you?
Absolutely, it's Chandra.
It is. For many of the players between these two teams celebrating the Islamic religious holiday Eid al-Adha, this in fact is the Chandrat, and it's a windy Chandrat.
It is. It is. and what better way to spend it at the BPL stadium, watching two incredible teams playing. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Incredibles. I'm just hoping John Zaid can get his bat going, strike some big ones tonight, get the score going.
So Amr, he's number 7. Is he known to being an all-rounder? John Zaid, that is?
He is.
From
He
Incredibles
is.
Side? Okay.
And again, from all the big hitters in the Incredibles that tonight, everybody disappointed, but it's all about that one game. It's all about that one ball, that one strike. So hopefully, John Zaid can get it going tonight.
Absolutely, as you said that, a beautiful shot on display into the covers for 2, taking Incredibles to 65, about midway through of the 11th over, going at about 6.19 as the run rate. Defended off the back foot this time, slightly short.
Let's
Eventually run for a single due to the misfield.
Absolutely, but let's
Continue.
not talk about the bowling that the United has done tonight. Taking a look at Abdul. Abdul has been very economical. 13 with 1 wicket in 3.4 overs. I think that's unbelievable. I think that's very economical, very, on the spot, hitting his spots, making sure that he's bowling at the right places.
Dabbed it into the covers for a single. There's an attempted second sent back by the non-strikers. Smartly done. And Amr, as much as you don't like me segueing into anything else, again, this is a particular format that everybody enjoys and finds it entertaining, is the fact that, look, in Caribbean Premier League, Sohail, you were talking about the bowling figures, right? Sohail Tanveer having bowled the most economical spell of the T20 in the history, picking up 5 wickets for 3 runs off of his 4. So some really exciting things can happen in this particular format that you wouldn't really typically count on in ODI or Test, which is why people come flocking to the ground for this particular format around the globe.
And you're right. There's more excitement in the T20s. There's more action in the T20s. But again, it's all about convenience. In my opinion, I think it's all about convenience. Rather than, you're looking at a test for 5 days.
Right.
You're looking at an ODI, which you're looking at close to 8 to 9 hours. Now, in turn, you turn around and do a T20, you're looking at about 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
I think that's where it's coming into. You got 3 hours to 4 hours of bam, bam, bam cricket. And that's what people look for. You know, you flock to the stadiums. You come to the stadiums. You want to see those wickets. You want to see those sixes.
Sixes. Speaking of the sixes.
Oh, he missed out.
One of the largest benefits of having played the BPL is the ability to go to Vegas, baby. Hit the max number of sixes and get yourself 2 tickets to go to the Vegas and party, or whatever it is that you like to do outside of the grand prize of the $4,000. This speaks to the caliber, this speaks to the exposure and experience. And we've been talking about the precedents this league has been setting up, and call me biased of having been a resident of Bolingbrook, but to be honest, I travel quite a lot. What BPL has done is something truly amazing. Well taken. Down to the long on region. 6th wicket goes off of Incredibles, or off Incredibles rather. And again, they continue to find themselves in a bit of a bother. So, what do you think, Amir?
The wickets keep on falling, and I think it's inevitable doom for Incredibles tonight. But again, it's the game of cricket. Anything can happen. If United can take wickets at a regular interval, I think so can the Incredibles. You know, it's a game. It's a game, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I mean, you and I were here for 4 days straight, and freedom fighters versus the local talent kings. I mean, who would have thought?
Exactly.
Freedom fighters were so stacked up, and
you know, we came into it saying, you know, we looked at the rosters and we were like, oh, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Freedom fighters are winning.
Yeah.
But again, you know, the Kings came in and they showed their talent. They put their will into it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a very competitive game.
It was.
You know, one of the best finals that I've seen to date in Chicago. But like you said, you know, I think BPL provides a very good platform. It gives you incentive that no other league in this region gives you. You know, we're talking about $4,000 for the winning team tonight. We're talking about a Vegas trip. We're talking about a $500 prize money to the best bowler.
Yeah.
You know, that's almost, you're talking about close to $6,000 we're giving away tonight for a BPL night tournament.
Exactly.
Right?
One of the marquee tournaments throughout the year, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you talk about any of the other leagues, their night tournaments are $2,500. You know, with maybe $200 to the best batsman, maybe $150 to the bowler.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this is what gives incentive. This is what BPL provides. Live feed through YouTube. You know, for a night tournament, I don't think any other league has provided this.
I pretty much believe that it hasn't been the case. You know more about the local cricket than I have. I know more about international cricket than you do, brother. But yes, that hasn't been the case.
Absolutely, we're not here broadcasting international cricket right now. We're talking about BPL Pepsi Bash 2017.
Indeed. Let's get back to the game.
No, absolutely. That's what BPL provides you with that exposure.
Yeah, we really can't talk about the microfinance, but you're absolutely right, Amir. It's really hard to see the feasibility into this, and every single game that I have commentated on, every single ceremony that I have been to, I've always wondered in terms of how BPL does it. And the numbers look good, the prizes look good, the venue looks good, the broadcast looks good. So again, kudos to the BPL and Mir Ali.
You know, it's all about the dedication. It's all about the drive. It's all about the love of the game. Mir has proven day in, day out that he's got the drive, he's got the dedication to make sure that the Chicagoland area gets the best and the highest quality of cricket, and the facility